What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans action spawning in the bottom of the map in the green color, playing as Gaia. His name is Squash. His partners today in the red color playing as Hades. His name is Gold Lion, finally rounding out the team in the Zeus color. In the purple color playing as Zeus with the Gaia Forests here. His name is Player. Their opponents today in the yellow color playing as Zeus. His name is Nullus or Abysme as he's going by in this tournament. Whether he's going to stick with it after the tournament, we'll have to wait and see. His partners today in the blue color playing as Hades. His name is Count Von Count. And finally, rounding out the team in the sky blue color playing as Kronos here. His name is Miracle. We do have the map Mediterranean. This is F2's home map. JSS picked Tundra Pools. So obviously that's F2 is going to stick with their tried and true. I do believe they lost one on Mediterranean, but they're still happily picking meta against everyone and anyone. As we'll see how this game is going to eventuate with Miracle already moving forward. He's going to start putting pressure onto Player immediately here with his immediate deconstruction. And Player's going to be in a little bit of pain here as he's going to have to work this one out moving forward. Having the Gaia Forest really helps in these situations. So we'll see how it's really going to eventuate moving forward. So the big differences in this team composition is going to be Hades and Zeus, with a Gaia, which is going to really help the early game of the economy of the Greek players, and on the other side, we see the Kronos with Hades and Zeus. So a very common thread is going to be seeing Hades and Zeus on Mediterranean in these kinds of team games at the top level, because their boats are just kind of the strongest throughout the early game, and they can put a lot of pressure onto your opponents here. As we see the secondary Gaia Forest getting thrown down over here. I'm surprised that didn't go to Gold Line here, but obviously Gold Line over on this location here. As chat is asking for predictions, so if you do not mind, I will chuck some predictions in, and we'll continue to talk about this game here. So the big thing in these matchups really ends up coming is at the top level, you're not winning the water very often. It's really tough. I mean, if you have a Kronos, you do have a chance, but what ends up happening normally is this map comes all down to the pocket. The pocket needs to play out of his mind. The pocket needs to get early town centers up, and they need to be hitting really big underworlds. I think the best way to use underworld in these matchups, if you have a Zeus and you have a Hades, is to have the Zeus player go 3 town centers, mass hoplites, underworld the pocket player. And the reason for this is the pocket player tends to be going for, this is me metagaming, right? The pocket player tends to be going for fast mythics. So if you hit them with 145 population hoplites after the water fight dies down, after you've got your 3 town centers, and you're effectively going to have all that pressure coming through, and then you're going to get hit with an earthquake, and the underworld can then of the Zeus player can then come through and be given to the Hades player when that comes in. So it makes a lot more sense where that's concerned. It's a little bit of crisis happening in Gold Line spaces. Everyone's starting to advance through to the next ages here. Let's take a quick look at what's happening. We see the Athena's coming through for everyone. No surprises. The Oceanus coming through for Squash. A couple of docks going to come up for Player. He does have to be careful here to put up the extra docks. Otherwise, he's going to have a lot of issues with deconstruction here. And he is going to be going for, simply put, a 3rd dock nice and early. As it looks to me that this Prometheus coming through for Miracle is fairly standard. He's getting himself up to 9 fishing ship, or even more than 9 fishing ship here, as his temple comes down over here in range. It looks like as Gold Lion spot this one. We see the Minotaur in. If I'm Miracle here, I'm thinking I'm thinking I don't want to lose an Oracle Scout. I'm thinking maybe just teleport this temple back straight away. There is no point in being here. He gets really shut down at this point as the temple is going to get taken down here very quickly. We'll see how things are going to go as the Bareem now starting to come in for Squash straight over onto the Zeus players base here as we see the 3rd dock up for Nullus. as he needs to start getting his units out. Squash is going to be pushing in, pulling out. Utilizing the speed is very, very important over here, as that temple is going to get taken out. The Promethean going to be searching around here, looking for something to attack. Meanwhile, on this location, it seems to me that Miracle's in just a little bit of pain here. He's got himself 4 Bareem, and we are seeing count on count getting over here, but the trireme count here for Gold Line is really, really high. We'll see how things are going to eventuate, as the temple is probably going to go down here. 50 HP. It's getting really close as that temple does go down. So Miracle is down a temple. We see not only that, Squash deciding to come over onto this position, going to be starting to put the triple pressure over onto the Chronos moving forward here, as Miracle has to retreat back. That Carnivora is creating a lot of chaos in this type of fight here, as Goldline getting in, getting some good damage done. And we'll see if JSS can react fast enough, as the Triremes trying to get over here. They're attacking Squash's main base here, but Squash isn't going to care. The value in these fights is 100% going after the enemy ships here. You really have to track your opponents in these kinds of maps, as Squash doing his best to micro. Beautiful micro there, though, from Miracle, pulling back Squash's boats all the way in here. He loses a ton of archer ships here. This is a really, really good win for JSS moving forward. Meanwhile, in the main base of Squash, we are starting to see the Jason and the Minotaur attacking on this location. There is access to Sentinels, so that's going to be a really, really big help here. We see the military barracks coming down for Squash as well, as the Trireme have to pull back, and that attack that attack that Abysme has done here has distracted Squash immensely, and that's why he lost all of those boats. Meanwhile, he is putting pressure over here. We do see the fishing ships have been garrisoned nicely onto this position over here, as Count Von Count and Miracle are going to be attempting to push back onto this position here. We'll see how things are going to go, as Nullus needs to kind of pull back his boats on these. Well, he's got a handful of boats over here, as Miracle here, he needs to get in and be active with his boats, not retreating so much when his partner is fighting. Meanwhile, we do see Squash trying to push in, trying to take down some fishing ships little by little, as we do see. Look at this beautiful play here from Nullus, sniping little bits of HP in the base, going to be rolling around, finding different places to go, as we do see that it seems to me the hero pressure has died down for the moment. So F2 have dealt with that early game cheese that is so vitally important. I don't know if player went for any early game cheese here against Miracle, but Miracle's now going to start making some Murmillo and putting some pressure over here onto player's base. There's not really a weak point here, but we'll see how things are going to go here, as the Restoration getting dropped down onto this location here, as the Trireme pulling back. We do see Squash coming in onto this location, getting involved. Beautiful micro there from Count Von Count, keeping super on top of that micro through this game. Player is going to be dropping his Restoration here, getting all of his ships back up to full HP. Meanwhile, we do see the Trireme coming in over here. Is Squash not paying attention? He's going to be losing a handful of fishing ships, but doesn't matter though, because the pressure is all mounting over here. JSS needs to keep on retreating here. There's a Restoration getting thrown down onto this location, and unlike the Mummy, the Carnivora can still one hit through healing, as the Bareem continuing here to help out from Squash. Another Restoration getting thrown in onto this position, and that will be the very last Restoration here, as JSS has to retreat back here. Ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing the Trireme for Nullus still moving around, trying to figure out what can be done, as the town center is now coming up for Count Von Count, deciding it's time to grab the town center. And he's not wrong. 9 minutes is roughly correct here on Mediterranean to grab that one, as Goldline gets incredibly out of position there. He's losing tons of boats here. Not only that, Nulla's coming in here. He's pushing back Squash. That's absolutely huge. We still haven't seen any town center coming up for, I tell a lie, there's the town center coming for player. So player is also aware of how this needs to go. Nullus yet hasn't thrown his own town center down, so we'll see when that's going to be happening here, as player is trying to get his ships into here, realizing he is taking a lot of fire moving forward. You have really no idea who's going to win these fights when it's this much Navy. Sometimes it just ends up becoming equal at the end, and other times it just ends up being one team just absolutely cleans house here, as we do see the Bareem raids coming in onto this location, going to be trying to take out the fishing ship. Doesn't manage to garrison that one in time here, as a handful of trireme come through to try and defend this one over here, as the retreat happening ever so slightly. Miracle getting a little bit out of position here. Count von Count trying to push in as well. Count von Count, the first to hit 2 town centers here, ladies and gentlemen. That's going to be a big help. He needs to start the villages, as he does, and if he can afford to produce from 2 town centers, get his 3rd town center very, very shortly here, as the trireme doing everything they can on this position as they're retreating back. We see the JSS boats trying to fight here. There's a lot of docks, though. You have to be super careful about those positions there, as we do see the Bareems are going to be retreating back. So too is Count von Count. We are seeing that Nullus is going to be able to start pushing in onto Squash over here. Nullus's army should be able to beat Squash's here. It's 14 trireme to 15 Bareem. So all you have to do is focus fire here, and you win against the guy in those positions, as we see Nullus going to be grabbing his 3rd town center as this continues through. The Oracle is in position. The Murmillo coming in here, but we do see the Odysseus is out, going to start shooting some arrows in onto this one, as Nullus going to be doing everything he can to take down these Bareems as best as he possibly can here, as the beautiful, so far so good here for JSS against F2 on this fight here. They're playing this one really, really well. Everyone going up to their 3 town centers, as Miracle's grabbing town centers over here and over here. However, the Citizen is getting pushed back. We do see 3 Murmillo here are in to take back this position and essentially prevent these Odysseus and Jason from doing all too much, as well as the Sentinels helping out a lot here. This should be enough here from Miracle to clean up both of these heroes here well enough, as Nullus is trying his best to fight over here, but he's not microing it all too well. He's going to have to pull back ever so slightly here, as Squash getting up to 3 town centers now. Nullus on 3 town centers. Count von Count on 3 town centers. Everyone managing to make their way there. This town center going to get up as well. Miracle being the kind of the last there in a way. I tell a lie, because we still haven't seen the 3rd town center for Goldline or Player coming up. But this is about to go very, very boomy here, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what the play is going to be. If we see a very fast heroic age here from Count von Count, do we see any military barracks down? Yes, we're starting to see the military academies coming out here for Nullus. So it doesn't look to me that he's going straight to the next stage. He's throwing farms down everywhere and seeing if he can set up his economy, as we do see Count von Count and Nullus going to be joining forces on this fight here, as the F2 ship's getting a little bit caught out as they're getting concaved up the wazoo there. That's a beautiful concave that JSS managed to construct there, as Miracle going to be chasing this one around, as we are now starting to see Squash going for the raids through onto these locations, taking out the fishing ships as best as they can. We see walls coming up here for Player. Player knows against the Atlantean here, he just needs to defend, but this is Miracle, and Miracle will have himself Helios here, as we do see an incredibly early Apollo coming through here. We don't see the military units coming out for Nullus, so probably not seeing what I would like to see here from the Zeus and from the Hades in these positions, but it is what it is. You can't have it all. We are seeing a whole bunch of Toxotes out here to defend this one. Obviously, this is going to be a necessity here for Player against those Murmillo, as he decides no infantry just yet here going forward, as Squash going to be looking to take out the fishing ship over on this position here. Nullus not paying attention. He will have to rebuild that fishing ship, as the Bareem getting pushed back ever so slightly over here, trying to just delay. This is exactly what makes F2 so good on this map. Even if they're losing, which, I mean, arguably they're losing the water, but they're just distracting and they're biding time, so it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, we see Goldline pushing it onto this location here as well. Going to be putting pressure immediately over here with Rhea. This is going to be really, really tough to stop. If Squash can get out a handful of behemoths here, break down these military buildings. We are seeing units coming out for Nullus, but he needs a ton more military buildings here, as we are seeing some cheeky scouting going on for Goldline. Some raids, maybe. He does have a scout already over here as well, as that heroic age is in, as we're starting to see the units coming through for Count Von Count. It looks to me that Count Von Count is trying to do some sort of heroic age push here. Maybe he's not. I'm not 100% sure. Meanwhile, over here, the walls can get broken down by Bareems here. It's not a bad usage of them. Meanwhile, we see player pushing through here as the Sentinel's going to be holding ever so slightly. As to me, it looks like Miracle is going to be trying to get to the Mythic Age here. I don't see too many units for him. He is building some units over here, and we do see the Underworld Passage is going to be coming through onto this position incredibly early from Count Von Count. Will it work or not? He is Hades. He is not Zeus. So he's going to be in a little bit of a problem here. We see Artemis coming through incredibly early, though, for Gold Lion as the Behemoth is out and the doubling is underway onto this position. The Behemoth are going to clean up these buildings so incredibly fast here as Nullus is trying to pump his buildings out as best as he can. He's getting himself an Odysseus through. He's in a lot of trouble here as Count Von Count, he didn't get himself any siege through as this town center is going to take a hot minute to go down with only 4 infantry units targeting it. As more units popping through the underworld onto this position, we do see the Toxotes coming through over here, but the hoplites coming in. Nice micro there from player pulling back his Toxotes over there just ever so slightly to make things a little bit tough for the Kronos, as Kronos is of Miracle here is trying to finish this off, but it looks to me that the infantry or the Greek units here, they should be able to win here if those Kronos Terma don't target down the Odysseus, but they are. They're targeting down the Odysseus, and that's going to allow those Toxotes to continue to look very, very scary here as we do see the Behemoth coming through onto this position, going to be countering on this here as the Petropolis is attempting to finish this this town center off. We do see Artemis is on the way here as the villagers trying to pump down as many buildings as they possibly can here. Will the town center fall, though, is the big question. We do see another Petropolis, so it will 100% be falling here as the fortress goes down. The town center goes down. Another fortress coming up for Count Von Count here as we see the Behemoth coming through onto this position, going to be attempting to take this one down as the earthquake getting dropped there onto Nullus's town center. They're going to be completely tearing that to pieces as Apollo is going to be coming through for Nullus now, as Nullus trying to push through himself over here as the Underworld was used onto this position. We'll see how that's going to go for Citizens coming over here as everything seems to be getting cleaned up here incredibly well, but there is going to be Mythic Age here for Count Von Count. He can use Earthquake right here, break all of this, and then greet Nullus on this position here as the Underworld is just about to get taken down. Did we see the Underworld getting... No. Wait, I swear we saw Count Von Count going Mythic Age here. He hasn't clicked up just yet. Helios is coming through, though, for Miracle. And Miracle is looking very, very good right now against player in this position. We asked, oh, look at that beautiful Bareem play here, taking down those medium Toxotes as well. As the Toxotes pushing through. There's the Artemis finally coming through for Count Von Count as his base over here is going to be getting cleaned up. Over here we are seeing the town center getting taken down, but the Citizens repairing. It looks like Squash is going to be able to survive for the time being. He needs some assistance over here as the units are going to be making the long trek. We are starting to see some buildings, foundations getting dropped down over on this location. To me, it looks like there's not really any town center in range of water, so no cheeky siege Bareem shenanigans are going to be coming through, but you can always hit things like transport ships on the shore over here, for example, trying to sneak in here, drop some military buildings and things like that going forward. So we will be still seeing usage of the water moving forward here, I would assume, as Artemis 55% of the way through, Helios 75% of the way through. We are seeing Hephaestus coming through for Nullus right now, as well as player. So everyone is well on the way. It's still a very, very close game, but F2 is down an earthquake. So this gives JSS a big power swing here. So we'll see if they're going to be able to use it moving forward, as everyone's just going to be pumping in onto this area with archers here. So we'll see how that's all going to be going here, as well as the vortex coming through onto this position, going to be hitting Squash. Wait, where's the Hecagigantes didn't come, but that Probably not going to matter that much because you have 2 destroyers. Okay, with the trader, it will matter. So that vortex did not work out in the best for the best there for Miracle. I'm not sure. I mean, he's got all these Breams he needs to delete, so he's got himself 8 Breams, but not getting that Gigantes was really, really bad there. As the Toxotes still trying to push through. We've got the Chimera helping out a ton. We do have that Odysseus here attempting to finish off the Chimera nice and fast, as while it looks like F2 has gotten a slight advantage on this position, it's a little bit of an impossibility here to push through here, I would say. As a Fortress coming down for Nullus. The best play here for the Greek players is going to be to make Heliopolis, and we'll see if that's going to be happening anytime soon, as the Plenty Vault getting dropped over here. The units still attempting to finish this off, as we see a cheeky trader there by Miracle stealing the Chimera over here, and we'll see what he's going to be using with that one, as this town center is still getting taken down. 35% Architects here. Where did that Gigantes go? Looks like the Gigantes must have been taken out, as Count Von Count is going to be dropping the Earthquake in onto this position, hitting Gold Lion's Town Center here. There's plenty of units through from Count Von Count. Count Von Count still has some military buildings in on this position, but he doesn't have any villagers back here, but he has been producing over here very nicely to be hitting Gold Lion's Town Center, pushing them back. We'll see if there's going to be any sort of transport ship shenanigery here, as F2 really desperately needs some siege here to push through. Some Greek siege would go incredibly usefully over on these positions here, as Gold Lion swinging around here now, retreating back to try and get his town center back. He's in a lot of trouble here. This llama caravan needs to get itself an upgrade here to make it dodge those arrows, and eventually they can be able to dodge arrows, which is a little bit ridiculous, but it is a thing. As the Underworld has now come through for player, he's going to be trying to hit Count Von Count's back town center. We see a palace getting time shifted here by Miracle, as the units coming over here for Count Von Count. He's going to hit. Basically, a good play here would be to Underworld the army of over here, as we see Nullus doing something. As Nullus, yes, this is exactly what he needs to do. Hit either Gold Lion or hit player over here. Ignore this, as this is going to be really, really tough to stop. As you look at that Myrmidon coming through, those are going to be incredibly tough here to deal with, as they're going to completely clean that town center and everything else up. As Count Von Count town center goes down, the Heliopolis are coming through here onto Gold Lion's town center over here. Meanwhile, over here, we're seeing all of these archers are absolutely useless at this point. Squash needs to get himself some siege here, some behemoth, some destroyers, less archers. Stop training archers here would be the right play. Maybe even deleting some archers couldn't go astray here, as the town center does end up getting taken down, as a fortress getting dropped over here. Nullus can move over here and take players' town center down as well. This player is going to be cleaning up everything on this position, and not only that, he's going to start being able to very easily produce over here, as it looks like Miracle has not been able to take this out. And he may have vortexed onto it, but he just wasn't able to clean this one up just yet. He's making himself some behemoth and some Gigantes to make that work, as the town center is now getting grabbed here by Nullus, as Nullus is now pushing over here to try and take down this town center. This game is on Nullus's shoulders here, it would seem. Same too is it on F2 players' shoulders, but do we still have an Underworld remaining? No, we don't. All the Underworlds have been spent. This town center is going to get denied for the time being here, as the Heliopolis trying to take this location out with no support. The villagers are very, very good at taking those locations down here, as the Heliopolis pushing through here, trying to take down this location. We see Architects coming through. That's a lot of Heliopoli that are in onto this position over here, as the town center is going down very fast. The citizens can help out here. They do a lot of damage to siege, as we see one Heliopolis going down, 2 Heliopolis going down. Will the town center fall? It looks like it is not going to fall here. Meanwhile, over here, the units have come through for Gold Line. He's on 2 town centers. He's completely fine in this position. Meanwhile, over here, we do see, Squash doing a cheeky here with the Heliopolis. This is one of those moments here where the Chronos player should actually be thinking to convert this, or convert one of these, and then utilizing the Vortex plus Garrison trick into the Heliopolis to effectively give himself an Underworld, because he can move citizens through there on the attack as well. And then you can also, to boot, use the time shift there to drop in a palace as well. It's so absurdly strong in the late game. And does he have any left? Miracle does not have any traders left, but he does have a vortex. So I'm sad we didn't get to see that one there, as the settlement is coming through here. Count on Count drops through the underworld. He is ready to support in on this location. We see the gas graffiti's coming through to clean this up. The underworld has been cleaned there, as well as the villagers are going to attempt to hide in the back corner of the map here, as everything over here will get cleaned up. Count on Counts, Hades Shades are going to be completely fine in on this position, as the scores are dead even here, as everything cleaned up over here. The underworld still available on this position. We're starting to see a little bit of time shifty shenanigans here from Miracle starting to help out. Meanwhile, on the front, look at this here from Miracle. He's starting to get that forward base sorted out here as well, as everything over here does end up getting picked off. I don't see any other purple over here. All those villages will be falling, as we are now also saying that, look, this is the point where the Zeus starts winning on these locations as well. Squash still only making Arcus. He's playing this game from a very, very hold point of view. He's not trying to win here, just trying not to lose, and that will effectively mean he will lose eventually here in this game if he continues down that path. As we see a fortress coming in over here, and look at this from Count on Count, dropping himself a fortress on this position here, making himself some heroes over here as well, as we do see the final vortex coming in over here, going after Gold Lion's town center. He also has himself a Colossus here. It's a little bit low HP, but he will be able to help take this out. For some reason, Miracle is really, really short on population here. I'm not sure if that's because he's just got trade, he's got fishing ship, he's got everything here, but he's going to be utilizing this resource really, really well by time shifting buildings in onto this position, which I absolutely love here, as the town center is going to be going down. The catapult here doing a lot of damage over here onto this town center as well, as it looks like it's about to fall. But there's so many gas graffitis here for Gold Lion, as he's going to be taking down this fortress very, very quickly to boot here. And we'll see how things are going to eventuate, as, I mean, we do have this fortress up, as we've also got the Man of War over here. Not only that, the transport ship coming in as the tower is getting set up on this location, but we also see Gold Lion going for exactly the same thing over here. He's got himself a Katoskopos over here. This villager does get chased down. This villager over here does get chased down. No dropping shenanigans will be had on this day. All these archery ranges will get cleaned up over here, and we do finally see a huge implode getting dropped in onto Nullus's base here. It's not going to kill the town center. It does a lot of damage there. Count on Count's Heliopolis are going to be helping out a ton over here, but now the Fire Siphon can have a little bit of a push through here. Fire Siphon are actually really, really good at dealing with Heliopolis, as this is going to be a little bit of a difficult one here for Nullus to hold, as a lot of what he's got, I mean, not really, is actually been cleaned up over here. The underworld gets cleaned up as well, as this forward base here seemingly going down as well. We see the palace coming through here. The Bream going to be holding the shore ever so slightly with the help of that Man of War, but the Man of War is going to go down, as well as the Chiron does manage to take that down. Not only that, the Heliopolis really, really good at picking off those water ships as well. Meanwhile, over here, we do see a handful of I say a handful, but just one champion Toxote does come out. Nullus does manage to hold here for the time being, as he's repairing this one back up. Squash in a good position. He still has to get his upgrades coming and seeing what he can do here. Meanwhile, over here, we see the Count on Count gas graffiti coming in, but he needs burning pitch. He has clicked it up, as he's only got 6 gas graffiti here. They're not that useful moving forward without burning pitch, but as soon as that comes through, that's going to be a lot of damage coming in onto that town center there, as the doubling is commencing. And Gold Lion, he has some villagers over here, but he doesn't have any units over here just yet, as these villagers are simply just moving across the map. I love this play from Miracle to stay tried and true on this shore here, as we see some Pentacontas coming in. The guard towers going to be coming up, being very, very difficult to deal with, as the Fire Siphon continuing to push through here, trying to take down these archery ranges and everything else. Meanwhile, we see, look at this. This is even better, though, is Squash dropping. He brings 1 citizen in, and this is going to be Gaia Lush holding onto these locations here. We do see that the Hades Shade has spotted this. Squash doesn't get too much of an advantage here. He does have himself the Citizen, which in the green color on the green land, a little bit tough to see, but we will be seeing the Hades Shades going to be pushing that back there as well, as the Palace does end up going down over here, as Nullus and Count Von Count helping push this location. Count Von Count over here helping out as well. We are seeing these Fire Siphon going to be doing a lot of damage over here. They've got all of the upgrades they need to be incredibly potent, and player has to rethink how you actually win the late game here with Zeus against Kronos with Helios, because these Fire Siphon are strong, as they're going to really clean up a Heliopolis very fast here on these positions. So we'll see what's going to happen as Secrets of the Titans has been clicked up now for Goldline. He is going to be bringing the Titan in to try and break down one of these locations here, as it seems to me that Count Von Count helping out a lot, trying to push through. We see Nullus breaking down those locations over here. The villagers coming through to take out this thing here. Squash's transport ship here needs to get active yet again. We are starting to see the walls getting thrown up here by Goldline to attempt to hold these locations. Players throwing up some guard towers on the shores as well to make sure that no transport ship landings can happen. We also see that Miracle's citizens were picked off, so everything has been dealt with now, and we're kind of back into kind of a brute force situation here, as the Goldline Gastrophedes coming in. Gastrophedes, they're not that good at taking down Heliopolis. Yes, they deal 6 damage with the crush, so it's better than dealing 1 damage per second, but they're not like Heliopolis versus Heliopolis or Fire Siphon versus Fire Siphon, as we see the town center is getting targeted down. There's really not that many melee units in onto this position. Only 3 Heliopoli are actually targeting here. You have to move just that little bit further forward here to actually end up taking this one down, as JSS not microing this one to the best of their abilities. The town center is going to be able to survive for a little bit longer here, as the Titan Age does come through here for Goldline. We'll see how this is going to happen, or what's going to happen here is the town center are getting awfully close to getting picked off here. There's the Titan Gate getting thrown up, but I don't care, because the town center here for Squash is getting awfully close to falling down. 1 Heliopoli remaining. The citizens have all made it over here onto this location. 5 citizens are over here. The Fire Siphon coming through here for Squash to take down these Heliopoli as best as they possibly can here, as that one here is at 300 HP and still alive, as JSS has to be shaking their head. They could have got in onto that position. They could have done anything that they wanted here, as the watchtowers are going to be coming through here for Goldline to try and maintain this short, dropping the walls down. This is a Goldline special here. If you can get in, drop the walls down, you can cut off the trade route completely here, but we've already got Count Von Count ready, set up, and preventing this one here. The Kyron needs to get over here and deal with this villager that's getting these walls completely set up over here. Meanwhile, we see the infantry have come through for Squash as he's pushing back over here, as over on this location we are still sitting in this standstill, as funnily enough, Kronos and Greek here can effectively go at it forever, given the Fire Siphons deal with everything, and then the Greek deal with the Fire Siphons fairly easily here, as Count Von Count going to be getting his own Titan Gate. Everyone's still getting upgrades as it's getting closer and closer to main, closer and closer to the main late game, the absolute late game here, as we do see a cheeky Heliopolis and Colossus raid, as the hero citizen does come through here. That should be able to kill off the gold Colossus here. Town center not going to be falling here just yet, as this game continues as a cheeky attack, but not enough. This is going to be a really nice place to actually be raiding here, or side building, as we see another Titan, I should say, coming through here onto this position, as well as player to boot is going to be getting his Titan out very shortly. Now, if you go for a Titan here as a Atlantean, you do lose out on a lot more resources, I reckon, than everyone else, because you're already struggling for resources as it is. Meanwhile, we are seeing Goldline is now starting to get some more useful units, making Heliopolis here, pushing through. I don't see Count Von Count anywhere over on this location. He's trying to push through with his units, but I don't see what he's actually doing. We see the walls are up over here blocking. I love the walls. I think this is fantastic. These walls have been denied, but I imagine there's going to be another attempt at a villager drop here from Goldline. He can come over here. He can come over here. He can literally go anywhere he wants, as Nellis dropping sentry towers and watchtowers himself over here, as another Titan is coming up over here for player. He's dropping that one there. So everyone's going to be happy with their little Titan coming forward. I mean, this is just what's happening here. This is just a complete blockade. There's no real way through here, as everyone's got infinite resources kind of at this point. Well, basically the only way forward is to drop something like this, which we're seeing here from Goldline. Goldline goes for the mass archery ranges here. We do see a Hades shade on this position. One way you can make this work a little bit better is to get yourself like 10 units out, as well as 10 villagers into that one transport ship to get through. But look at this. I love this play here from Miracle. Just sit here with the heavy siege Bareems, kill off the buildings before they can do anything, and these side builds just don't do anything. It's just genius. Just a handful of Bareems, and you complete the blockade. Not only that, this side build's obviously not going to do anything because Goldline's got 20 population in a Titan here. It's going to be moving this way as we see 6 of the Titans coming through for Squash. Nihilus is going to need to get his own Titan out as well in order to deal with that. And we'll see how that's going to go, as the Teal Titan here for Miracle is gonna be the first one up, but it's very far away from this one. So Goldline might actually get a little bit of value here in this game, as the Heliopolis getting cleaned up here. Walls, towers, everything up on this position. Oxy Juggernauts coming in, as people realizing here in this game that the Oxy Juggernauts are actually the best siege kind of in the game here to clean up these side builds as best as you can. As we do see that that everyone's just happily trying to hold on to the water. To me, this is feeling awfully like a wonder game. This feels like there's going to be a wonder race here going forward. As I say that, we see the wonder getting dropped here by Goldline, and a Titan coming up here for Squash. The question is, does Count Von Count? Oh, no need to answer that question anymore. The wonder is coming down, but this is a classic problem here that the old boys had with the donkey caravans just continue to walk over here. So we'll see if Miracle can come over here and hold this while he's also getting pushed. Look at this. That's exactly how you're supposed to push this one. Player works it out, gets himself a ton of Petropolis here. He's going to be breaking through this location very, very fast here. The question is, whose wonder is going to go up first? We got ourselves 8 citizen here, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 citizen here, compared to 28, 29, 33 villagers. So we'll see who's going to be winning this race here. 2,000 HP to 5,000 HP, but this has got 15,498. So it's a little bit, not that it's more HP, it's not that it takes longer, it's just that the build points are not going to be as easily recognizable from the HP here, as the Titan going to be pushing through. Nullus in a world of hurt here. Nullus actually hasn't managed to get himself his own Titan out here, and this is going to be a very, very desperate time for him, as Count Von Count's Titan is only now just barely coming through, as the Titan's going to be coming through to greet each other over here, as this Titan angrily bashes the ground. He wants to just come in and trade himself off here, it would seem, as they just go straight at each other. The Petropolis going to be doing so much damage here as the wall catapult push is coming in. Miracle's in a very, very difficult position moving forward here, as we're going to keep an eye on these wonders here, getting very, very close to completion, as it looks to me ever so slightly as if, I can't tell, it kind of looks like the Hades wonder is going to be finishing finishing first. More Citizen coming in onto this one. It's so close here, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, it does look like the Hades Wonder will be finishing first. Is there another Vortex remaining? No. How do you get here and attack this as the JSS team after losing everything over here? We will be seeing this town center coming back up. The Titan is going to be moving over here to greet this. This Titan does have a 2,000 HP advantage. There's no upgrades on these Titans here. No one picked Hera, obviously, as Goldline going to be retreating back ever so slightly here. We do have, not only that, we've also got the Heliopoli here to take this down. So that's going to, Goldline not paying attention here. He's not paying attention at all. The Wonder does win, but Count Von Count is going to have a full HP Titan. This is absolutely huge. Goldline has completely lost it here. He's getting himself Beast Slayer, but he's down to 2,000 HP here, ladies and gentlemen, as this is absolutely huge for JSS. As the Wonder gets up, it's 20 seconds behind here for Miracle. That's going to be the sickest Wonder you can see. You get a lava pool, whatever. The Titan goes down, and Count Von Count's got 4,000 HP remaining. So that's going to be a good trade there against the Squash Titan, as we do see some side builds coming through for Nellis. As this is happening, we also see side builds through for Goldline in onto this position. Over here, we do see the pushing continuing to come through here, but Miracle has held this one nicely. He's starting to make some Fanatics through here as well, as we see players starting to drop in onto this shore. I was saying that this is going to be a really, really strong place to attack, as Miracle is now going to start making himself some Bareems over here as well. Pushing forward here, and we'll see if he can hold onto this location here as Count Von Count will be utilizing his Titan to the best of his ability to try and trade against his enemy Titan over here. Squash pushing forward here as well. This village is going to be coming through onto this location. This game will most likely be ending in 8 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. 9 minutes potentially here if Count Von Count and his JSS buddies here can push through. He breaks down all of these units trying to push in. We see the Fire Siphons doing tons of damage here as the Squash Titan just simply cannot make it through here. It's just sitting idle at 20 population. Now going to come through, going to come in, and then look at this Titan. It's simply just falling. It's simply just falling here. It does nothing in these positions, as Squash just says, I don't care. I'm just going to go straight after your town center here. As the Heliopoli going to start immediately turning around over onto this position. Do we have Beast Slayer? No, we don't for Count Von Count. But these Heliopolis are going to do tons of damage onto the Titan nonetheless. This Titan over here is also, I'm not sure where it's going, but it's trying to distract just a little bit here. 3.75 speed versus 3.48 speed. It should actually technically be able to escape from just the Fire Siphons and get over and do some damage elsewhere. Maybe it's going to go for the main base or try and break down something here, as these buildings are going to be getting taken out. We see the walls getting set up for Count Von Count on that position there, as well as the town center does end up going down. The Titan is already down to 4,800 HP as it's getting cleaned up very, very quickly here. The villagers trying to path block. You do need to path block this as best as you can, otherwise the Heliopolis won't be able to chase down the Titan, as we do see Count Von Count, Nullus, and Miracle, after all this said and done, decide that's the game. It's going to be too hard to get in to this Wonder here. And with this push happening over here, Miracle not going to be able to help out too much. He's going to have to hold here, just not going to be able to make it work. That's the game, as we see F2 able to push up to 2-0 in this series here. An incredibly close game, ladies and gentlemen. Economy off the charts here. Huge amounts of resources tributed by Goldline to keep everyone afloat, but everyone tributing resources here in this game. Player 7,000, Nullus 3,000, Miracle 5,400, Squash with a little bit as well. Funnily enough, being the Gaia player, not being able to afford those tributes here is a bit interesting. Team stats here on the all resources, incredibly equal here, ladies and gentlemen. And I guess the other thing to look at is the military unit counts here. It's just an incredibly well played game, but just that little bit of an advantage here from the F2 team, choosing to go for that Wonder just that little bit earlier here and able to get it up. I wonder if the caravans didn't get mushed up there, if maybe this Wonder would have finished earlier. Not sure, but it didn't end up happening, and JSS doesn't want to try it anymore. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.